Have you ever wondered why some people can make good money, but somehow never seem to have any? They get a raise. They get a better job. Maybe they even start making more than they ever expected. And yet, their lifestyle gets more expensive. Their bills get bigger. Their bank balance somehow stays almost exactly where it was. Meanwhile, someone else can earn less, spend less, invest consistently, and slowly build real wealth. So what's the difference? It isn't always intelligence. It isn't always income. And it definitely isn't just luck. Sometimes, the biggest thing standing between you and wealth is your own brain. Because your brain wasn't designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to keep you safe, comfortable, and satisfied right now. And those three things can quietly work against your long-term financial future. Today, we are going to look at the psychology behind money, and why your brain can make you poor even when you know what you should be doing. 1. Your brain wants rewards now. Imagine you have two choices. You can receive $100 today. Or wait a year to receive $120. Logically, the second option sounds better. But psychologically, your brain strongly prefers the $100 right now. This is called present bias. We naturally place more value on immediate rewards than future rewards. That's why spending $50 on dinner feels real, while putting $50 into an investment account can feel almost meaningless. You can see the food. You can enjoy the experience. You can tell yourself, "What's $50? But future wealth is invisible. You can't see the compound interest you haven't earned yet. And this creates a dangerous pattern. Spend now. Enjoy now. Upgrade now. And tell yourself you'll save later. The problem? Later keeps moving. Next month becomes next year. Next year becomes someday. And someday never arrives. This is one reason building wealth can feel boring. Your brain wants the reward immediately. Wealth usually rewards patience. And patience doesn't feel exciting. 2. Your brain adapts to everything. Here's something even more dangerous. Imagine you make $4,000 a month. Then you get a raise. Now you're making $5,000. At first, you feel richer. You celebrate. Maybe you upgrade your apartment. Buy a nicer phone. Eat out more often. Take better vacations. A few months later, $5,000 feels normal. Then you get another raise. Now you're making $6,000. And somehow, you still don't feel rich. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain gets used to improvements. The new car becomes normal. The nicer apartment becomes normal. The expensive subscription becomes normal. The daily coffee becomes normal. And eventually, yesterday's luxury becomes today's baseline. This is why simply making more money doesn't automatically create wealth. If your spending rises every time your income rises, your lifestyle can absorb every extra dollar. You don't become wealthier. You simply become more expensive to maintain. 3. Your brain uses other people as a measuring stick. Here's another trap. You don't need a new car until your friend buys one. You don't need designer clothes until you see them everywhere. You don't need a luxury vacation until social media shows you someone else's vacation every day. Suddenly, your normal life starts looking inadequate. This is social comparison. And modern technology has turned it into a 24-hour competition. You open Instagram. Someone is driving a new car. You open YouTube. Someone bought a house. You scroll TikTok. Someone is traveling around the world. And your brain starts asking, why don't I have that? But there's a problem. You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. And financially, this can be devastating. Because people don't just buy things because they need them. They buy things because they want to communicate something. Success, status, taste, freedom, security. The strange part. Sometimes the person trying hardest to look wealthy is the person furthest from becoming wealthy. Because wealth, you can see, is often money that has already been spent. Real wealth is often invisible. It's the investments nobody sees. The savings account nobody knows about. The debt you never took on. The financial freedom you quietly built. 4. Your brain hates losing more than it loves winning. Imagine someone offers you this game. You flip a coin. Heads, you win $100. Tails, you lose $100. Would you play? Many people wouldn't. Now change it. Heads, you win $200. Tails, you lose $100. Suddenly, the game looks much more attractive. Why? Because humans experience losses more strongly than equivalent gains. This is known as loss aversion. And it has huge implications for money. People can become terrified of losing $1,000. While completely ignoring the opportunity cost of leaving money idle for years. They may refuse to invest because markets sometimes fall. But they don't think twice about the purchasing power they may lose to inflation over time. They see the temporary loss, but don't see the invisible cost of doing nothing. This doesn't mean you should take reckless risks. It means your brain can exaggerate certain risks while ignoring others. And becoming financially successful requires learning to distinguish between risk and discomfort. They are not always the same thing. 5. Your brain loves instant gratification. Think about your phone. You tap the screen, and something happens immediately. Food delivery. A few taps. Entertainment. Instant. Shopping. Instant. Everything is optimized for convenience. But wealth works differently. You invest $500. Nothing dramatic happens. You invest again. Still nothing exciting. You keep going. Months pass. Years pass. And then one day, the small decisions begin to compound. This creates a psychological mismatch. Modern life gives you immediate rewards. Wealth usually gives you delayed rewards. That's why financial discipline can feel unnatural. You're constantly surrounded by systems designed to make spending effortless, while saving requires intention. The solution isn't becoming miserable. It's creating systems that make good financial decisions easier. Automate investing. Automatically move money into savings. Remove unnecessary subscriptions. Make impulsive purchases slightly harder. Don't rely entirely on willpower. Because your brain gets tired. A good system keeps working when motivation disappears. 6. Your brain can confuse income with wealth. This is one of the biggest financial misconceptions. You make $100,000 a year. Therefore, you must be wealthy. Not necessarily. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you keep and build. Someone earning $200,000, but spending $195,000 may have less financial freedom than someone earning $80,000, and consistently investing $20,000. The size of your paycheck tells only part of the story. Your savings rate matters. Your assets matter. Your debt matters. Your habits matter. And most importantly, what happens to your money after you receive it? Because your income can make you look successful. But your financial behavior determines whether you're actually becoming wealthy. 7. Your brain finds reasons to justify spending. Here's a subtle one. You decide you shouldn't buy something. Then your brain starts negotiating. I worked hard. I deserve it. It's on sale. I'll use it all the time. It's only $40. And suddenly, you've convinced yourself. This is called self-justification. The brain doesn't always ask, is this financially smart? Sometimes it asks, how can I make this decision feel smart? That's an important difference. Because once you've emotionally decided to buy something, your brain becomes surprisingly creative at defending the purchase. A simple solution is to create rules before you're emotional. For example, wait 24 hours before buying non-essential items. Set a monthly entertainment budget. Automate investments before discretionary spending. Create a separate account for fun money. This lets you enjoy your money without letting every impulse control it. 8. Your brain thinks small expenses don't matter. Here's the dangerous phrase. It's only $10. One $10 purchase probably won't change your life. But that's not the point. The problem is repetition. $10 today. $10 tomorrow. $15 the next day. A few subscriptions. A few deliveries. A few convenience purchases. Individually, they are insignificant. Together, they become a system. And there's an even bigger problem. Your brain notices large expenses. It doesn't notice small recurring ones. You remember buying a $1,500 laptop. You may not remember the hundreds of small purchases that happened afterward. That's why you should occasionally look backward. Open your bank statement. Look at the last 30 days. Don't ask, was each purchase reasonable? Ask, what pattern does my spending reveal? Because your spending habits are often more honest than your intentions. 9. Your brain wants to feel rich before you're rich. This might be the biggest trap of all. Most people don't just want wealth. They want the feeling of wealth. The nice car. The expensive restaurant. The luxury apartment. The designer clothes. The vacation. But there's a crucial difference. Looking wealthy and becoming wealthy are completely different games. Looking wealthy requires spending money. Becoming wealthy often requires keeping money. That's why some of the smartest financial decisions can feel boring. Driving the older car. Living below your means. Buying fewer things. Investing consistently. Saying no when everyone else says yes. Nobody applauds these decisions. But they compound. And eventually, something changes. You stop needing every paycheck to maintain your lifestyle. Your investments begin producing results. Your financial decisions become less about survival and more about freedom. That's when money starts working differently. 10. The real goal isn't more money. Here's the twist. The goal isn't necessarily to become obsessed with money. The goal is to make money less powerful over your life. Think about what financial freedom actually means. Being able to leave a terrible job. Being able to handle an emergency without panic. Being able to take time off. Being able to help your family. Being able to make decisions based on what matters, instead of what your bank account allows. That's the deeper purpose of wealth. And your brain needs to understand that. Because if you define wealth as expensive things, you'll always need more. But if you define wealth as freedom, your decisions become completely different. The wealthy mindset. So how do you fight your own brain? You don't try to become a completely different person. You build systems around your natural psychology. Delay unnecessary purchases. Automate saving and investing. Avoid comparing your life to strangers online. Track recurring expenses. Give yourself a reasonable spending budget. Increase your savings when your income rises. And most importantly, learn to enjoy delayed rewards. Because wealth is often built by doing something today that your future self will thank you for. Your brain wants comfort now. Your future wants freedom later. And every financial decision is a small vote for one of those two. So the next time you get paid, don't just ask, "What can I afford?" Ask, "What kind of financial life am I building?" Because getting rich isn't only about learning how to make more money. It's about understanding the psychology that determines what you do with the money you already have. And sometimes, the biggest financial breakthrough isn't earning more. It's finally understanding why you keep getting in your own way. Your brain may want you to feel rich today. Your future self wants you to actually be wealthy. Choose carefully.